Welcome to the dark side, this is our side, where we were raised on NWA and the far side. Los Meadows and all the way to Parkside. It's a far cry, trying to make it being the smart guy. But I made it through, it isn't what they're saying true, that you can shoot but you won't hit a thing unless you aiming full. Then I ain't got a thing to lose and only everything to prove. Ain't no more hanging loose, it's either hang it up or hang a noose. Yeah, so what's the deal? If you really know me, then you know exactly how I feel, and I don't keep it real.
All right.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunday Spin, brought to you by Anonymous Pacific Records in California, Anonymous Collective Records in the 719, also by the good people at Grooves Records, Kevin Chanel in San Francisco, and last but not least, What's Left Records right here in the 719 Colorado Springs, where I'm joined by two well-known celebrities of the 719. I'm going to start it off with my man, Moreno.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Great.
How's everybody doing today?
Hey, before you introduce our guest, congratulations on the new album, Menopause, which dropped Friday. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Loved every minute of it. Heard it for the first time today. You're a legend. Well done.
Oh, much love, my brother. I always appreciate all the kind feedback, and it means a lot. Thank you so much.
Right on. Now, who we got with us?
Without further ado, let's bring a drum roll on. Virtual. Actually, we could do a real one. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, your friend, my friend. He's a rapper. He is a lyricist. He is a wordsmith. He's a kind man. He is a musician, and he is my friend, Mr. Frank G. What's up, Frankie?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me, man. That was a perfect drum roll. Sounded better than ever. That's good, man.
Crisp, I thought it started out well.
Good job,
Thank
man.
you.
But no, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see both of you guys. It's been too long, so I hope all is well throughout this whole quarantine and all this craziness in the world.
Yeah, and you look great, Frank. And let's start there, because what have you been up to in these ages? Because you do lose contact very quickly.
Yeah.
You look great. I
you.
see you online. I love the messages you're spreading, the positivity, everything else. So, I do hope things are going good for you. It sure seems so.
Yeah, 2020's been a wild year, just like for most of us, but I can say today that, I feel and am doing better than I ever have. 2020 kind of started off really rough. I hit some of the darkest points in my life just with everything going on, a lot of personal issues. The pandemic hit, a lot of depression, anxiety, you name it. I was kind of dealing with it, but fortunately I was able to kind of come out on the other side of that and with a positive attitude, and I'm still here. And I'm just all about pushing that positivity and trying to give out what I've learned back to people and let people know that regardless of what's going on in your life, you can kind of make it through, and the support is there. And if I can survive this anybody can. But yeah, it's been a trying year, just like I said, for most of us. But I'm really happy that I made it out of that darkness of my life, and back to working on new music and getting that going again, and lots of stuff coming very soon. So yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a lot of people, I know you're very well known, very well loved in your community, 719. But for the rest of our audience who don't know the Frank Garcia story, start us from the beginning. Now, are you a native of the 719, Colorado Springs?
I'm technically not a native. I mean, I might as well be. I was born in Los Angeles, California. That's where my family's from. But I pretty much was raised out here in Colorado Springs. I've been out here for, I don't know, about 25 years or so. I'm 32. So moved out here pretty young. you know, this is where I did my dirt and got into, oh, there's my dog making an appearance. But yeah, this is where I'm from. I made all my friends, kind of planted my roots in this community, and you know, went to high school here. And around high school is when I first started kind of making music and getting into that, realizing how writing and creating was something that, you know, just helped me on a daily basis get out my feelings and my emotions and my life onto paper, and started rapping. You know, like that was kind of, you know, I tried a bunch of different things. I've tried DJing, I've tried you know, all these other outlets, but rapping for me was the one that kind of stuck. It's where I found my voice, and I was kind of able to just keep grinding on that. And you know, eventually it just kind of started with fun, you know, recording at friends' house here and there, making songs just for the hell of it. But then friends started hearing this stuff, and they're, you know, were kind of impressed, I guess, and wanted to hear more. So it just kind of continued on doing it. Eventually, a few years later, started performing. You know, the Black Sheep, Union Station were kind of the first couple places that I was able to get shows. And you know, I was running with a different crew back then, but you know, those guys kind of came and went. But this music thing was something that I always wanted to stick with. And eventually I found my place and found another group of guys in the community that kind of took me under their wing. And that group is called Clydesdale Entertainment, you know, representing. You know, and it was just kind of five of us. We were all five solo artists. We came together, made a couple group albums and group projects. And you know, but it's kind of five minds coming together as one. Yeah, there you go. You know, that was our first mixtape called Clydesdale Work Ethic, you know, which is all self-produced. We self-recorded all of that here. You know, that's a project we're really proud of. And you know, that's a 719 classic. You know,
Yep.
that's what it's, you know, those are my words. That's what I've heard, you know.
It is.
But
No, absolutely. You're spot on, my friend.
you know, so we came together. And you know, after we put that out, I dropped a solo record called Faded, which stands for Frank All Day Every Day. And that was kind of my first real solo project. Yep, there it is, man. That's a project that still means a lot to me, you know. Like that project, you know, was all about, you know, my life up until that point, you know, all the grinding and all the craziness in my life that finally came out. And yeah, I'm really proud of that one, you know. And even before that, me and Greno were kind of working on some things when we first met. We have a little project called Winter in June, you know, where he was producing the tracks and I was doing vocals or doing the raps. I think you added some vocals to that as well. You know, that's something we got to revive. We got to revive that project soon, you know, like that was something different, I think, for the both of us. So that was really cool. And that, honestly, that project kind of, those songs that we made kind of propelled me into making Faded and everything else that kind of came after that, you know. So that was a cool time. Cool. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's kind of like quick little backstory. You know, I've released 2 solo projects. I got a third done. I just need to, you know, get it together and put it out. And yeah, always working, always collabing with different artists in the cities. You know, performing was a big thing we were on. We were really performing a lot, you know. Unfortunately, this COVID thing hit and we haven't really done anything at all, probably on almost a year, unfortunately, you know. We weren't really planning for this. I don't think anybody was, but you know, it is what it is. And throughout this time, we've kind of been able to come together, and we still got things in the works. We got a lot of new merchandise coming soon, a website, lots of stuff we're working on, you know. Lots of music still was made. So yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this next year and got a lot of things coming out.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
So
Frank, let's back it up a little bit. Do you remember the first show that we played together? So it was my band and then Frank G.
Yeah. That was at the Union Station, right? Was that at the Union Station? Yeah, it was like was that the one of the C4 CPR shows, I believe. Yeah,
The benefits show, yes.
yeah, it was a benefit show. Man, that seems like so long ago. Like, it's crazy. Like I feel like I was a kid back then.
You were a kid. Yeah, that was Circles and Squares.
That's right. Circles and
So
Squares.
Mandy Christensen on drums, Anthony Davis on guitar. Anthony's going to be on the show in a few weeks.
Awesome,
God,
man.
we should get Mandy. We should do a Circles and Squares reunion on here, Vinny.
It
would be a Circles and Squares / Mulligans reunion, actually.
There you go.
Absolutely. It was such a huge crossover there, my brother.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, me and you go way back, like I said, when you and I first kind of met, I was in this transitional period of, I kind of, not really a falling out, but the guys I was making music with, they kind of just stopped. They kind of gave it up. And I was just left in this no man's land of still wanting to make music, but really had nobody reaching out. I had nobody to work with. I wasn't really, I was kind of lost as far as music came. And then you and I had met through work. And yeah, like I said, you kind of propelled our little, you kind of pushed me and motivated me to start creating again. And it propelled me into where I'm at now, to be honest. Yeah.
Likewise, brother. I mean, you turned me on to Dessa, who is like, I mean, my new record that I just put out on Friday has a song about Dessa. I don't know. I must have like 3 or 4 about her now.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Doomtree, Dilated People. It's like all the music that you turned me on to.
Yeah.
Like, eternally grateful, man. Like so much good hip hop music and other music too. Like, what was the Black Keys hip hop project?
Oh, yeah, that was.
Remember that kind of influenced Winter and June too.
Yeah,
what was that called?
Big time. It was called Black Rock.
Yes.
And yeah, it was the Black Keys, basically doing all the production and music for rappers, Most Def. I mean, all kinds of people. Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, man. I got to go back and listen to that album.
Right.
Heard that one, but no, those are some special times, man. I mean, like I said, I was in this weird transitional phase with the music, and when we had met, and I've learned a lot from you, and hopefully we learn from each other.
Dude,
there was
so
a lot.
Much.
Yeah,
and the cool thing, I want to shout out to the Ostro brothers because not just for the record store, but these guys put on all these multi-genre shows. Were like some of the most memorable shows that I played. It was like a hip hop band, my indie rock band, and then a psychedelic gypsy band, or like all this different music together in one night. And I think at least 3 or 4 shows that we played together were like that, Frankie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Throw in so many different kinds of people,
Yeah.
Talk about some of the venues and the things, Black Sheep and whatnot, obviously still going, thank God. But, we've lost the Zodiac and Triple Nickel and Flux Capacitor. Turn back the clock on some of those memories for our Sunday viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, shout out to the Ostro brothers, Sean and Brian. Those guys are a huge part of the music community here in Colorado Springs. I mean, they're the backbone of it in a lot of ways, and always have been. And they started a venue of their own, the Flux Capacitor, and that's kind of when a lot of those mixed genre shows started coming together. And I mean, those are some of the best shows that I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was that there was nothing more real and like authentic like going on at the time. I mean, it was just true music fans holed up in this little basement type place, like held only maybe 60, 70 people in there, maybe 100 people would be packed out. but they were so much fun. You know, it was all underground. You know, and I was able to connect with music fans on all different levels, you know, and not hip hop, punk rock. I mean, there was experimental stuff going on in there, like
Yeah.
all types of things I would never been exposed to if it wasn't for what they had going on there, you know. And even as far as like them working at the Triple Nickel, you know, that was a cool little bar, you know, dive bar venue, had a lot of cool shows there. I mean, these are places, the Zodiac, these are all places I had some of the most fun, and like, I mean, some of the best shows still to this day were you know, and
100%.
yeah, super cool, man. Shout out to those guys. They're still around. You know, What's Left Records is on and popping now. So that's really cool that they always seem to find a way to make it happen, you know, like to make the music happen, and whether it be shows or whatever it is, they find a way to keep shit alive here, you know. So I respect them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well
Absolutely,
put, my
Frank.
friend. Very well put.
Thank you. Yeah, they're awesome, man. I'm blessed to know people like that, you know. The Springs is blessed to have people like that here, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Brian's number. I don't know, just out of random when we started Circles and Squares, and we've been friends ever since. And now I've gotten to know Sean more in the last couple years. Brian and I have been really tight for a long time, and I've always loved Sean, but I've been hanging out at the record store a lot more, as Vinny knows. And in fact, we did a show there, Frankie. Our very first show was from the record store, and he's also visited on a few shows. So they're just recovering. They're back open. Sean's there today. So if you guys are in the Springs, go pick up some punk rock or indie rock, metal, doom. They got everything. Now they have like comic books and toys and stuff. And
they definitely go down there. What's Left Records, support those guys, because they support everybody here in the music scene and all over. They bring in bands and artists from all over the country, you know. I've all over the world. I've got to open up for some really, really cool artists that they brought to the city that normally would not, you know, they wouldn't be playing a little basement in Colorado Springs, you know. So it was really cool, cool time.
Like, legendary punk bands like MDC and like it's so like the list of bands. One time I played with this instrumental band from Italy.
Oh, wow.
It was Menagerie. Yeah. You know, like 2016 Electric Circus, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm not surprised though. You know, they, like I said, they find a way to make these things happen, and it's all for the love of music. You know, like I've never seen these guys involved in any drama or any type of nonsense. Like it's all for the music, it's all for the love, you know. And like I said, I'm glad to know those guys and that they're around, you know. I've gotten really close with both of them over the years.
Thanks, Frank, for sharing that sentiment. That's
for sure,
wonderful
man.
stuff. And that's what makes that's the lifeblood of not only Sunday Spin, but our whole musical community is that, you know, no one's getting rich, no one's famous yet, but the whole thing is it's the doing of it, and the doing of it together, DIT, as the Ostro brothers say. And like, like, man, you know, today before the show, Frank, playing your music, you know, and stuff, listening, and I was like, oh, I want to hear some of these old tracks that, interestingly enough, you guys know, as much of an archivist as I am, I don't have some of this Winter and June. Like there's a song, Miss Black and White.
Miss Black and White.
Songs that I'm like, oh, Frank killed those, and I can't find them.
I'm gonna have to do some digging too, man. I know they're in a folder somewhere on my hard drive. I gotta do some digging, but I know they're there. They're In Her Way. That track was one of the first ones we put out. It was good stuff, man. I just remember like freestyling in your basement while you guys would jam out and stuff. Like it was cool, man. those were times that I'll always look back on, like, you know, as a special time, you know. I mean, you and I got in the studio a bunch of times, got all weird and had some fun, you know. We had some good times, man.
Did we ever record over at the shop at the dispensary?
I don't know if we did or not, you know.
I did record some vocals in the basement and some other jams, but I don't know if you were on those.
I don't remember, but you remember I had that little garage kind of space in my backyard at the time at the old house I had.
Yeah, I actually remember that.
Yeah.
That's actually where we met, Frank.
Yeah.
And I do want you to continue with the story, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, was it called SSK?
Yeah, SSV. It was that
SSV.
Yeah.
What a place it was. We thought we had died and gone to heaven, but yeah, please.
Yeah, no,
that's right. Vinny, thanks for connecting those dots.
Absolutely.
That was so long ago.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing I also took away from the experience was how well versed Frankie G was, and I'm sure still is, in his musical history. Because the things we were laying down, he was making comments and saying that has a very fuzzed up Yardbirds kind of sound, and and Glenn's not surprised because he has the association. But I'm thinking, you know, the guy's a 60-year-old trapped in a 25-year-old body. He did turn me on to a lot of different artists through listening to your music. So I really want to thank you because I'm still very much a novice in the field of rap and freestyle.
Yeah, me too.
But I do want to ask about your influences.
Yeah. I mean, you know, my dad listened to a lot of soul and and honestly, the first kind of hip hop records that I heard were from my dad. You know, he would be listening to, you know, stuff like NWA and Too Short and Gangstar, and that's kind of where I first was introduced to rap and you know, and that type of sound. And you know, I remember hearing Prince and all these things, Santana. You know, all these different groups growing up. And you know, but when I really started getting like hearing all these different bands and just stuff that I would have normally never been exposed to was when I worked at Independent Records, you know, the local record store here. And that's when really my mind was just blown wide open to all these different groups and old stuff. And you know, I just was a sponge working there. Like whatever I heard, I was kind of like, I just heard a lot of good stuff there that I normally would never have checked out, you know. And then working with Glenn, you know, Glenn brought his, you know, you have a very eclectic taste as well. And like I heard all kinds of stuff through you, you know, and there you go.
You guys, do you know what this is? So this is Sublime's first cassette.
Oh, wow.
This thing is like, I've seen it on auction for like $500.
Wow.
That was like 15, 20 years ago. So this is like their very first thing.
Yeah.
And it's got like, you know, it's got DJs, it's got Let's Go Get Stoned, Had a Date Rapes on it, you know.
That's crazy.
We got to shout out to Greg Abramson. He made the Date Rape video, a friend of ours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice, dude.
And I know, Frank, that's probably an influence for you as well.
Oh yeah, I love Sublime. You know, I'm a big reggae fan. You know, punk rock. I try to keep a very open mind when it comes to music. Like, you know, I'm not somebody that, you know, if it's not something I normally wouldn't listen to, like, oh, get that out of here. Like if it's not rap, I don't want to hear it. Like I'm not like that, you know. Like I'll give it a listen and give it a shot. And, you know, that's where I find, you know, some of the best stuff and stuff I still listen to now, you know, like, but you know, my main influences are definitely, you know, old school West Coast gangster rap, you know, Dilated Peoples, some of the LA underground stuff. But yeah, I love all types of music, you know. I really love soulful, like where hip hop and like other genres kind of clash together, like through sampling and all these things. Like that's one big thing I love about hip hop is how, you know, these producers will sample old soul records or old drum breaks from bands and stuff like that. Like it's amazing how they use that stuff.
Frankie,
it's as an outsider, it's a lot of fun to hear a contemporary artist and hear a lick that they came from a Sly and the Family Stone record.
Yeah.
Or a Temptations record or a Curtis Mayfield album. So yeah, I echo your statements 100%, but I'm an older man. So it is really impressive that somebody from, your generation has keyed into that and utilized it. My hat's off to you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Frankie, what about like you're talking about samples? What about an artist like a DJ Shadow who pulls from songs that like he doesn't even know where they came from, some of them, or he won't comment.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, DJ Shadow is up there with one of the best producers I think around. Like just, again, just the vastness of his music collection, Madlib,
yes.
Madlib's
love Madlib. Thanks for bringing him up.
Yeah, Madlib's another guy. It's like, I don't know, these are special. They're special artists in general, like just the way they piece stuff together and their ear for stuff, like I think you're the one who kind of told me about yesterday's new quintet. It's wild the way what these guys are doing, it's super cool and creative, It's
awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
So just to let people know, we're here hanging out with Mr. Frank G. This is the Sunday Spin. We're just about to wrap things up here because it's just free flowing, Frank, just like your music, man. It just goes, baby. But my side man, and always on the 64 side, Mr. Vinny G.
Love that Bolitnikov jersey, my man.
And so Vinny got me this jersey. So for those of you, I'm sure a lot of you, Glenn's a Raider, if you don't already know. Yeah, and they won today, and we beat the Broncos, so I have to wear it.
Yeah,
it's just sort of, it's the Bolitnikov.
Okay.
So, and this is a vintage. Yeah, this is from Vinny.
School. Yeah,
this is one of my prized possessions, Vinny. I adore this thing, and it's brought me a lot of good luck.
You deserve it, man, and I hope it continues to give you epic luck, my man, because no one deserves it more. Frankie, 719 salutes you. I salute you.
No doubt, man.
Good work. I'm glad you're doing so well. I hope you stay in touch.
Of course.
Where can people listen to your music, my man?
Yeah, definitely. Look at that, Glenn. Look at that, man. That's dude. I can't believe you have that.
The Doobie Brothers, cool. Man. Doobie Bros. Sorry.
Doobie Bros. Yeah, that was me and a buddy of mine kind of took that moniker, back in the day. But
way back you went, huh?
Yeah,
that was like 2012, man. Look, it even has Frankie's sloppy ass writing on there too.
That's definitely the first like solo thing I've ever put together. That's old school.
eBay,
right?
Baby. These two, I'm gonna sell these two together.
Yeah, man.
A box set for you guys.
Killer Rapper mixtape. Yeah, man. That's awesome. You have that stuff. I don't even have a copy of that. Damn it.
Well, Frank, you mentioned there's an album after Faded, correct?
Yeah, there's an album out right now. It's a little EP. It's called Love Is. It's the first part to, I guess, like a 2-piece EP set. It's called Love Is, Life Is. And I put that project out, about a year ago now. I have the second part completed. It's recorded. Just given what's been going on this year, it kind of got delayed coming out when I wanted it to, but it's done and it will come out very soon. But yeah, if you want to listen to any of my music, it's on Spotify. You can search Frank G on Spotify. I have a Bandcamp page. It's frankgraps.bandcamp.com.
Thank you.
You can follow me on Instagram at frankg719.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to find me. But yeah, there'll be a lot more coming soon. We got an official website coming very soon. Actually, it's in the works right now. Lots of new merch. You know, I'll have a whole line of Frank G shirts and hats.
Yeah.
You know,
I
whatever.
want one.
Yeah, for sure. I got you, man. I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up, both you guys.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Frank, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I appreciate the love. I appreciate you guys thinking of me and having me on. This was really fun, man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Well,
be
sure.
719 without you, Frank. Yeah, we were honored to be in your presence this afternoon. Thanks for sharing your story.
Of course, man. Anytime. I appreciate that.
Frank, thanks again so much, man.
Yeah.
It was such a joy catching up with you. And, you know, again, this will kind of kindle the fire. We'll get some things going with you and the Skinny Mulligans here. And
all right.
some other
Let's
projects, maybe a summer in December. And, right. And,
right.
but yeah, Frank, I just want to take a second to say that you're one of the people I've known the longest here, and you mean a lot to me. And the friendship it means so much. And we're going to end the show with a tune from the Cannabis Cares.
Oh, wow.
Okay. CD put out by C4 CPR and Audrey Hatfield. Hello, Audrey.
All right.
And this is a tune called What Would Frank Do?
Oh, wow.
Collective.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this is an old one. And Frank, I just want to say too, I just want to dedicate this show to the memory of our dear friend, Miss Lindsay Smalley. And Lindsay, we love you. We think about you all the time. And
always.
Yeah. So anyways, much love, Frank. We love you. You guys be safe, be happy. And Frank, we'll have you on the show again in 2021, baby.
Let's do it. Anytime, man.
All right. So again, here's What Would Frank Do? Let's figure it out. And we'll end the show right here. You've been tuning into the Sunday Spin. Thanks again. I'm Glenn Merle, Guareno, and we got Vinny G as always.
Peace.
Co-pilot, cohort, musical evangelist.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks again, you guys. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Love you too.
This is our side, where we were raised on NWA and the far side. Los Meadows and all the way to Parkside. It's a far cry, trying to make it being the smart guy. But I made it through, it isn't what they're saying true, that you can shoot but you won't hit a thing unless you aiming full. Then I ain't got a thing to lose and only everything to prove. Ain't no more hanging loose, it's either hang it up or hang a noose. Yeah, so what's the deal? If you really know me, then you know exactly how I feel. And I don't keep it real, I keep it trill. I keep it in the waistband, so I suggest you keep it still. And I'ma keep it moving, and I don't need you here to see me do it or see me through it or be under your influence. All I need is this microphone, I'm feeling the hyperzone, so you know it's on when I get home. And